Hello and welcome to another month of the Single Cask Club. Hello to all of our existing members and of course our new members as well. New guys, hello, I'm Guy, this is the Strong Water Co, 70 High Street, Bankery in Scotland. First of all, had a pretty good month of allocations last month with quite a few Glenallachys coming out with some really good numbers of bottles that we're getting from them. Also Springbank's coming out this month, and I think we're going to have probably our best allocation from there yet. So that's very exciting. Thanks very much for everyone that's supporting, and I think everyone's chuffed, like distilleries and suppliers, that we're getting whiskey into whiskey drinkers' hands. That's really great stuff. So we're very chuffed with that. Thank you. Both our drams this month are from Finn Thompson Whiskies. So Finn Thompson is 9th generation whiskey trade in the Thompson family. His family used to have blenders, because what they cut their teeth as, blends like Ben Eagles and things like that, and kind of Peter Thompson Limited with big wine suppliers or wine merchants either, I should say, and importers. And now what Finn does is he does everything in single cask strength stuff. So all the stuff that used to go into the blends, he now does iterations of that or new versions of that would go into them if the blends are still about now. So yeah, everything is single cask strength, which is fantastic. So the two drams that we have this month, the first one is labelled as Pitty Lee. So Pitty Lee was a distillery just kind of around the corner, pretty just east of Aberfeldy down in Amory, and it was built in 1852. A 42-year history of most of which it lay silent and dormant, so it didn't do very well there. But yeah, sometimes you can find Aberfeldy labelled up as that. Kind of a classic nice touch that Finn does with all this kind of bottlings now. So this was distilled on the 29th of January 2015, bottled on the 27th of August 2024. At a natural cask strength of 58.4% after initial maturation in a refill hoggy, and then it went into a Tokai cask. So Tokai is a sweet Hungarian wine, uses the grape called Ferment, sits in the Tokai Mountains, kind of horseshoe mountains. The grapes are left on the vines, they then are affected with a thing called noble botrytis, which rots the grapes, then they grow a new skin over the top of the rot, and then it turns all the sugars into this wonderful kind of tropical bright fruitiness. Put that in a barrel, take it apart, ship it across, put some whiskey in it. Pitty Lee by Finn Thompson. So yeah, this is labelled as a 9-year-old. Yeah, as I said, natural cask strength of 58.4. On the nose, I think it's kind of lots of what you'd expect is kind of tropical fruits, those kind of stuff. But for me, I'm getting a lot of kind of red currants to start off with. Obviously, naturally there's lots of vanilla and kind of light oaking there. I think maybe a little bit of more of those tropical fruits that you expect. And then on the palate, cheers. Hell of a good dribble that. Straight on the microphone. On the palate, it's much more mango, much more pineapple, much more kind of vanilla-y style of oak. There's a tart, kind of tingling tanniness to it, which is nice. I think that alcohol's balanced wonderfully well in that. If we add a couple of drops of water as well, we're going to do to this, grab a pipette. I think that's just add a couple into there. Yeah, we're getting more kind of that red curranty, red fruits. More active tannins, lovely dry oaky woodiness to it. The finish is kind of this lovely vanilla sweetness to it as well, with a kind of quite creamy lingering end. So that is yeah, that's the Pitty Lee from Finn Thompson Whiskey. So this one is on the shelf at £75, and the club price there is £67.50. So enjoy that, and we shall be right back for dram. So dram number 2 is, as I said, Finn Thompson as well, and this is a tomatin. So red wine finish. Well, red wine finish. It's not. It's a full red wine maturation, which I think is another nice point to kind of the history of the Thompson family as well. So Peace Thompson Limited was a big wine merchant, did a lot of importing of wine, and this had a full maturation in French red wine. Don't say exactly where it is, but it's Bordeaux Barrique that it's been in. Red wine can sometimes be quite a tricky one. It's quite hard to kind of get the spirit and the cask in harmony together. Sometimes you get a bit too much influence from the cask, and then you can just be a bit, your spirit will be completely overpowered. You'll lose the original distillery character, and that's just, what's the point? So I think this is lovely, this one, because it's got a real apparent red wine influence, but then it's still got that classic kind of tomatin distillery character behind it. So this one was distilled on the 27th of August. No, it wasn't. That was when it was bottled. It was distilled on the 29th of August, 2015, and bottled on the 27th of August, 2024. Bottled only is an 8-year-old, so I mean, it's 2 months off being 9. And this is, full maturation in a French red wine barrique. So bottled as an 8-year-old with an outrun of 281 bottles and a natural cask strength of 57%. So lovely colour on this one, I think. It's kind of like deep rose gold. Really into that. And let's get into it. So on the nose, it's kind of almost more brambles. It's more like overripe strawberries, I think. Kind of this deep red fruit with quite an active alcohol level to it. That's sometimes what I can find with red wine, that it just overpowers it, but that sitting in there. But then you get more sweetness notes of, and it's quite like a kind of dark toffee, caramelly kind of, but almost then behind that there's this creamier, light creme brulee kind of style. I'll give it a crack. I find this is like a really piney citrus, almost grapefruit kind of style of acidity to it. A sharpness with a rolling spice across the back of it. I'm going to put a couple of drops of water in this as well. So it's a 57, so I'm only going to put a couple in just to bring it down just a notch, not very far. Again, that colour, lovely rose gold. A real sharpness to it, I think, which I quite like. And it is, for me, it's that pine, it's kind of grand fir, real citrusy style. It's lovely rolling spice that comes in at the end of that. And then the finish is this softer spice with the kind of volume of the alcohol coming through that, again, which is kind of apparent, but sitting in balance with everything else, which I think helps carry that length, leading to more of a kind of red curranty style finish. Red currant, red fruit, but kind of with quite a bit of tartness to it. I think that's lovely, because usually red wine can be completely overpowering and out the door. So that's a rather interesting one. So yeah, that's dram number 2, the Tomatin red wine barrique from Finn Thompson. So that's a shelf price of £67.50, club price of £60.75, so it's 10% off. So I hope you enjoy them. I hope everyone has a lovely month. And keep an eye out for the Springbank emails, and we'll see you in December.